require vaccination?
No,
Good.
no,
Okay.
no.
Okay, well, welcome Dorothy Zimmerman. She's going to tell us everything we need to know about some of the corruption that's going on with the county. You're going to come forward. And do you want to go to any specific place that would be on the screen? I can
No,
turn it in
no, that's
better.
fine.
Okay.
Basically,
I should just turn it on, cool it off. Yeah.
basically,
I've got to leave it so because they made you say it.
Okay. Don't feel bad. Yeah, don't feel bad. In other words, what he's saying is he's got to walk out. Okay. Okay.
y'all have papers in front of you at this point that talk about our tax rates. Our little bitty one about ad valorem taxes. Presently, we can see how they've gone up. Now, at the meetings, they will talk and they will say, well, it's not a big increase, it's not a big increase. It's not a big increase. But if we look at what went on in 2009, then there's 2010, 2011. The reason 2011 was so small was because that was just an increase in our evaluations for our property. The county beat them to the punch. So they left it as just what the county valuations brought it up to. But then, of course, because they didn't raise the taxes in 2011, they gave it to us in 2012. We did as much as we could. We had 88 people who phoned, who showed up to speak, and who emailed. We had 88 people say, not only no, but I can't afford it, no. And then they went forward anyway. Because the 2012, yeah,
One comment about the 88 people. That was the largest turnout in the history of the Dallas County Community College District on any subject.
any
Wow.
topic. And they still said, no, we gotta go do this. Well, see, 2012, they voted an increase in tuition
As
for
well.
2013, which was $7 a college hour. Now, they still say, well, it's still so cheap. Well, it went from $45 to $52
Yeah.
a college hour.
What year was that $7 an hour increase?
That was in 2012. At the same time they socked it to us with our taxes. They
19
also
point.
They also gave us the tuition increase of $7 a college hour.
So the
But
double whammy that year.
they voted in 2012 for the tuition increase that they are now looking to put into place for 2015 January.
In other words, another tuition increase?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
2015.
Which will
Anybody know
take
how much that's going to be?
$7 again.
$7 again.
It's another $7.
So it went from $45 to $59
Yeah.
Now, I was
That's in 2015.
as of January 2015.
Yeah.
Yes,
Another
sir.
point about that, I want to point out one thing. If you look at people that are going to community colleges, they're usually younger. They're working minimum wage jobs to pay for their school. How much do they make?
$7.
$7 an hour.
$8.
So for every hour they have to spend at least 1 hour at work to pay for tuition each semester. Or more.
Per hour.
So at a minimum, they're going to spend $7 hours extra trying to pay just for the increase in tuition.
Yes, sir.
Well, how else are the administrators going to get their salaries up there with bankers and corporate people?
Well, if you look, the Texas Tribune, if you look at their salaries, at this point, there's some of them that I would be downright embarrassed to have people know how much they
They're
make.
making a ton of money, those
Hundreds
professors.
of thousands.
Hundreds of.
But-
Well, the new chancellor was brought on at more than the old chancellor because after all, you've got to pay for quality, right? Yeah. Well, anyway.
$358,000
No,
a
300.
year.
No, he gets 300,000.
I thought he got $350,000.
For what?
No,
This is
300,000
for the
for
chancellor
the
whole
chancellor.
system?
What's
For
an
the
average
seventh college.
tenured prof make?
The last I heard,
How much is
city
an
manager
average
makes
tenured prop?
$400,000.
Oh, nothing like that.
Nothing like
Right.
that.
Yeah, Texas,
Dallas,
yeah, see Texas Tribune, if you
78,
go,
85,000, something
if you
like
go
that.
to the
85.
Texas Tribune website, you can find all of the salaries.
I've got the entire page thing
Yeah.
from about 2 years
But
ago.
anyway, so back to taxes. The spending, they knew in 2012 that they did not have enough money with the spending they were doing. They knew they needed the $7 a college hour in 2015. Now, I don't know about you, but if I could get away with that kind of spending, knowing full well I'll just tack it on someplace else later. And they had the nerve to do it in 12 and 15.
Yeah.
They literally told us they were overspending and that this was how they were going to cover that.
There's
So,
probably a lot of greed and graft and corruption
Well-
and money under the table in the system, just like there is in the DISD.
well, we start
Probably
looking,
tremendous amount of greed and graft, corruption, and.
well, we
under the
start
table
looking at the way they spend the
cash,
money.
you know.
There was, they spent money an incredible amount to get people up on the internet. The LaCroix Center is what they're spending a bucket of cash on. But at the same time, LaCroix, it's their internet system.
Oh, the
To get them
LaCroix
to get them up onto the internet. Now, if we look at WGU, we look at Phoenix, we look at all the other universities that are internet, and we do okay on that because it's the way of the future for learning. Just like we don't have appointment television anymore because you set your VCR and then on Friday night after work, you run through the shows that you missed all week long. Okay, appointment television. We don't do that anymore. Well, so as it works, you fix your schooling into the internet, but they had a $4 million furniture budget.
Look at that.
It was district-wide
Unspecified.
furniture, district-wide, over a 3-year period. It sounded like slush fund to me, because a furniture could be credenza, a furniture could be a desk, a furniture could be a sofa in the lounge. It was furniture for $4 million over a 3-year period. And I don't know as a citizen how I keep track of that. Okay? The check register is on the internet. You can look at the check register, but there is nothing in the check register that takes it back to the business that they spent it on, that they authorized it. Yes?
Is there any way to know where that furniture, all of it was
No.
delivered?
And
No.
in
Because
fact,
a lot of it could have gone to their private
With
homes.
it being district-wide,
I've seen that before.
then there were between 48 and 52 vendors who were allowed to spend, to accept the monies and the orders from this $4 million of furniture.
A lot of those vendors are probably paying kickback to the guy who has the power to purchase.
Well, and then we come to an upgrade to a sprinkler system at Eastfield College. I don't know if y'all know that we're under water restrictions. Okay, we are under water restrictions. In Garland, we're allowed to water twice a month.
They're siphoning the
It's the
water.
same way in the same way in the seat.
turn it off, right?
Yes, you can't use a sprinkler but twice a
It's
month.
not being drained.
Yes, so they put $148,000 into the upgrade
It's a typical.
to a sprinkler system that covers a portion of the campus at Eastfield. Now then, if they're interested in education, I don't see how a sprinkler system educates anyone. Then we go back to the LaCroix Center, internet. We're big on internet, big on internet. But if we're spending $4 million on furniture, district-wide for internet students,
That's a good
one of the things that's funny about the furniture, the year before they hired the new chancellor, okay? And Dorothy says, be ready, there's going to be a big spending
On
to
furniture.
get furniture for the new chancellor, because he's not gonna stay in the stuff that,
He's not gonna want
He's
the
gonna want
old
you to
chancellor's
So
credentials.
the chancellor is over the whole DCCD.
yeah, he's got a president of
Yeah.
$300,000.
How much?
300,000.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the first meeting that the new chancellor's in, that's when they do the $4 million for
For furniture.
Basically, let me say this, you're doing a great study. All this thing passing it to us is not going to work. We need to follow suit for what you're saying.
Well,
Tell them what you're asking for.
well, basically what I want is,
No, we want to drag them into the court, for them to explain to the court where the money is going.
that's not something that's going to happen, because
Why?
it's all above board, and as many people as don't, I am the only citizen that shows up to these meetings.
Yeah.
End of story. I'm the
Figure out
only citizen.
Who's cooking the books? What crony in the system is cooking the books to cover everybody else's?
I have not the slightest idea, because see, I don't have that kind of access.
Yeah.
I am the only citizen who goes to these meetings.
I think our
Dorothy,
best
Dorothy, John has
resource,
a question.
Yes,
Why don't we go to the root? Public education is one of the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto.
yeah,
We have socialized education. The United States is a communist country
oh
for all
yes,
practical purposes.
yeah.
So, we can sit here and bitch about all this, and you're right, but there's probably 1,000 other issues just in the Dallas County Community College District. Why don't we go to the root, which is public education? If we privatized education, half this crap, 3/4 of this crap would disappear, because there's nobody having a gun to their head with the taxman saying, pay up, and extorting money from them.
Oh, I want
And that money going to a slush fund for people who produce nothing to decide how it's spent. In the real world, in the free market, in a true free market capitalist system, you have checks and balances, like having to deal with the real world and people saying, I think y'all are wasting our money. I'm not going to spend my money and have my child educated by you. I'm taking it to brand B or brand C or brand D. And so, while
Well,
the
that's what
capitalist
the-
system
that's what the chan-
is not
basically,
perfect,
that
it's
is
a
what-
better system than any socialist system.
Well, that is what my representative on the board said, that if they don't like the increases in tuition, they can vote with their feet. And that's what he said of the
And they
students.
still get our money.
They
you-
vote
you
with
can-
our feet.
They've actually, since they've been doing these increases, they've actually had enrollment dropping because it's getting too expensive.
So as enrollment drops, they
But
have,
they still got their hand in our pockets. stealing
Right.
our
Of course,
money.
that's the problem.
Does
It's never going to
anybody know if
change.
they have an excess of surplus of funds that can be readily ascertained? With this kind of increases, they should have a surplus of funds
they
in
are
escrow
within,
somewhere.
they are within the 4-month window.
Of
and
excess
as-
funds, I had.
No excess funds.
That's,
They are within the 4-month window
Which
of what
means
they consider to basically, how should I put
they
it?
have enough money coming in for 4 months ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
they are within 4 months.
yeah. That's what they say, but who's cooking the books?
Well,
well, I do know they're cooking the books, but we're having
With this
trouble
kind of
finding
system doing this, as large as it is, that kind of money coming in, somebody, a crony.
It
in
is
the
a
system
five-
is probably cooking the books to cover everybody's butt.
it's a $515 million budget.
That's what I wanted to ask you, how much total money is that?
$515
$515 million,
million, $500 million
a yearly
a
budget?
year budget
That's for all the DCCD
for the
campuses?
7 campuses.
You got $500 million plus 15 million, that sounds like a lot more than that. $500 million
Yeah, it's
Okay.
$500 million.
plus 15 more million.
Yeah.
That's a serious chunk of
Had a
change.
question?
Somebody's got to open the
The
books
other thing we're
somewhere.
saying, we've seen so many issues like this, and once we kind of get into it, are you familiar with Walter Greenwood and the CAFR issue? It's Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, CAFR, C-A-F-R. Herman with two N's, a little bit more clear. Anyway, what it is, it goes to what he's saying. They run up surpluses and they make by law that you can't touch it. The law is phony.
Oh, see, as I understand it, in fact, the board, the trustees that have actually had the questions of, looks like we're kind of tight to the end of the budget, we're kind of tight to the money, that there's, where's the bank account? And they keep saying, oh, not a problem, because some of this will be spent, and then it's a 3-year contract on some of this, and so we're within 2 years of the end of the contract, so this might not all be
Right,
spent, so.
that's what I'm talking about. I think
Yeah.
we wrote it down. Look up
Okay,
Catherine.
and I'd like to make a suggestion in a minute. I'd like her to be able to just talk without people adding in or asking questions until she's given what her idea is, because
Right.
we may never get to it.
Yeah.
Because she's been working on something, and we're just gonna listen, and then at the end, take comments or questions, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead, Dorothy.
August 19th and August 26th is going to be the public hearings on taxes. They make it
At
very,
4 o'clock in the
they
afternoon.
make it very convenient. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon at 1601 South Lamar.
1601 South Lamar.
1601
What is
South
it, the
Lamar.
governmental agency?
It's the Dallas
It's the Dallas
County
County
Community
Community
College
College
District.
District.
It's where
Okay,
they
I
have
know
their
where it
board of
is.
trustees meetings.
Headquarters.
So they have people, they import their instructors, they bring in people who do.
They fill the room with people that are on the dole from Dallas County Community College District.
And so then all of us overflow get to sit in another room. Yeah, it makes you feel,
We're
so loved.
She's trying to get, we
I
had
need-
88,
Yes,
we're trying to get more than 88 people to show up,
because to phone.
to protest and say, I'm sick and tired of tax increases.
Because if every time they get a chance to raise our taxes,